All right, so the first thing we want to do actually for the lead accelerator on here, so someone just came through. I can't run through my computer. When I sign up to join me, then it asked me to. You try going to join.me instead, and that should allow you to get in without downloading the software. There we go. Awesome. All right, so the first thing that we'll actually want to do on here is go over to agent.kw.com. All right, so if we go to agent.kw.com on here, all right, then we can actually sign in to our K2B Command platform. All right, so all you'll need to do to sign in is just put inside your MyKW username and password. All right, and then once you do that, you can click that sign in option. There we go. All right, so once I click that sign in option on here, then we'll be able to access everything immediately. All right, so once again, this is just kind of the main K2B Command homepage on here. All right, so this is where you can access all of your different pretty much items that are available on K2B Command, whether you want to access your contacts, your opportunities, different groups you're part of or you created, obviously the lead accelerator like we're going to talk about today, insights, referrals, so on and so forth. All right, so before we actually get into Sketchhouse and the lead accelerator, though, the first thing that we'll actually want to do on here, all right, so just to give you a heads up, the first thing we want to do is click on our name at the top right and go to settings. All right, because in order for Sketchhouse to actually pull over some of your information, you want to make sure that you have all of your basically your marketing info in the back end to auto-populate for you. And for the lead accelerator work, you need to link up a couple different platforms depending on which one you want to utilize. All right, so we're going to show you where you can access all of that. All right, so once we click on our name at the top right and then go to settings on here. Here we go. All right, so the first thing that's going to pop up on our settings are actually all of our different connected applications. All right, so we have a bunch of different applications that you may have already connected or different ones that you can actually utilize down here too. All right, so in order to utilize the lead accelerator, you'll need to connect either your Gmail account on here, all right, your Facebook ad manager, all right, or if I scroll down a little bit further down here, then we'll even have a section for Twitter for posting, but then we have the Twitter ad manager, and then even our Google AdWords account on here too. All right, so I just set up the Google AdWords one earlier. It must have kicked me out, unfortunately. All right, so in this case, I do have the Facebook ad manager, those set up, so that's perfect. So at the very, very bottom down here, there's going to be a marketing automation section where you can then connect your account. Now, if I try to connect Twitter, for instance, it's going to pop up saying this connection to your Twitter account will only be successful if you already started a Twitter ads account with your Twitter credentials. All right, so you will have to have a Twitter account and then have Twitter ads on there too. All right, so I have been hearing, let me go ahead and try and unblock this so it'll actually pop up properly on here. Let's see if that'll come up. Perfect. So once we actually do that, then as you can see, you could actually sign up or sign in to your Twitter account in order to authorize access to this immediately from that lead accelerator. All right, so you can do that for Twitter, you can do that for Facebook, and currently you can do that for Google AdWords too. All right, so if I did the same thing on Google AdWords on here, I can click that Connect Account. All right, then it should give us a pop-up. So much like I had on my account, I had a pop-up blocker on there. All right, make sure you are allowing for pop-ups to come through. All right, and then if I did want to go through and set up my Google AdWords account on here that I already have set up, then I could sign into my Gmail account. Now, one thing to note, because I do get this question a lot, you can't have a Google AdWords account on your K2B.com email. All right, that is one of the few Google apps or Google applications that are not available for you to utilize, all right, via that K2B.com email. So if you are intent on using Google AdWords, just make sure that you have it synced up with a Gmail account. All right, so whether you have, johnsmith@gmail.com or you happen to have a G Suite account, all right, you will need to utilize something outside of your @K2B.com email instead. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that. If you are looking to utilize Google AdWords now or in the future, all right, you can't use it from your K2B.com email. All right, now once we set that up though, and you've signed into your account, at the very, very top up here, it should say Connected Apps. And then on here, for instance, I have the Facebook Ad Manager that I'm already connected to. So I'm good to go on here so I can start to utilize that immediately. All right, so that's the first thing you want to do in order to actually utilize your lead accelerator is you need to connect it so that way you can actually start to post out from the back end on here over to those different platforms. Now for Sketchhouse, on the left-hand side, we're currently under Applications. But for Sketchhouse, we'll want to focus on that marketing profile. All right, because your marketing profile, very similar like your eEdge My Account section, this is where everything's going to automatically populate over to your Sketchhouse designs. All right, so at the end of the day, you want to work smarter, not harder. So you want to set this up once so it'll automatically auto-populate for you. Now this info can be changed at any time on here. I just want to give you a heads up on that. So if you go into your marketing profile, then you can actually go through and add inside your information. Now in order to save your marketing profile, anything that does not have an optional, basically not brackets, what am I thinking of? Parentheses next to it. All right, if it doesn't say optional on there, then you will need to fill it out. All right, there's only a few items that won't say optional that you don't have to add in. All right, and you must have a headshot or your photo on here in order to actually save this profile. All right, so you have to add that in as well. Now, one thing to note when we're first looking at our photo and then our team logo on here, all right, if you notice on the recommended size, it's 360 by 360. So it's 360 width by 360 length. So really, it's going to be a square is what they're looking for at the end of the day. All right, so with that being said on here, it really wants your headshot to be a square because it's going to fit inside this circle. So that way it'll get inside the dimensions properly. All right, so all you'd have to do is just click that upload option. You can upload your headshot immediately, or you can even upload your logo over here too if you happen to have a logo. All right, then of course below that for the details, you can add inside your name. If you happen to have your license number, you can add that in. Obviously, if you have a team name, you can add that into your designations on here. You can add inside your bio as well for it to auto-populate. All right, so there are a bunch of different options you can add in. Your mobile phone, your office phone number. Now, this is one of the items that I was saying, even though it doesn't say optional, you don't have to add it inside. You actually don't need to add inside your fax in order for this to actually save. All right, but then it'll ask for your email and your website. And even though this is actually, it says please enter an email address, so I think this is it might be coded incorrectly on here for the website option. So even though it has a little red around that box where it looks like there might be an error with this, all right, as long as you have your website address on there, even if it doesn't have the www dot or the http or https://, all right, you should be good to go. I just left it as scottleroymarketing.com, and that's perfect. We're all good to go on there. All right, but then of course, once again, you can also add inside your market center name, the street address, and then it will want the city, state, or province and postal code on here all in one location. All right, and then you don't need to worry about putting inside your brokerage license number either. So even though it doesn't say optional, you can actually save this without adding it in. Now for the DBA logo on here, once again, 360 by 360. Most logos will typically be, obviously a rectangle. All right, so if you do happen to have a DBA logo for your office that you need to add inside, if it is a rectangle, I may suggest holding off on that real quick. All right, because obviously it will need to be a square in this case to actually display properly. Now, one really big item to take a look at on here, though, it has to be smaller than 1 megabyte. All right, so many headshots, many logos are typically smaller than 1 megabyte. But if you happen to have a very high-resolution headshot or a very high-resolution logo, it might be 2, 3, 4, 5 megabytes or so. All right, the highest I think I've ever seen someone submit over here was 12. All right, so in this case, if you do happen to have a very high-resolution one, you'll just need to make the logo or the headshot a little bit smaller. All right, and if you make that headshot or logo a little bit smaller on there, all right, then that'll actually come through and, well, it'll allow you to add this in. Someone was just trying to present on here. We're good. All right. So if you do need to change this out, we utilize pickresize.com, and I'll put that over here inside our chat section. Obviously, you're not, obligated to utilize pickresize.com. There are plenty of different places where you can actually resize your photos. And to tell you the truth, outside of pickresize.com, if you happen to have a Windows PC, all right, so I don't know if, what the equivalent is on Mac, unfortunately, but if you happen to have a Windows PC, I actually utilize Paint, right? And just to kind of resize everything very quickly. You can upload an image over inside Paint, and there's an option to resize and crop on there, where you can actually change the size of the logo or the headshot, or just the image in this case, right away. All right, now there is a section for a legal footer on here. You can add inside your social media information as well. All right, it does look like it wants the entire URL on here, so I just put inside facebook.com/ScottLeroyMarketing as an example on here. All right, and then the same thing for your branded app link. So if you want to add inside your K2B app, you're definitely more than welcome to on here too. All right, so completely up to you at the end of the day. All right. Now, once this has been updated, just click that Save option at the very bottom left down here. All right, and once you click that Save option, here we go. All right, then it'll say your marketing profile was successfully saved. From now, it will make your work easier and will be helpful in auto-completion of many templates and marketing materials. Remember that you can edit it inside the settings anytime you want to. So once again, they're basically just specifying nothing is set in stone. You can update this at any time. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that. All right. So with that being said on here, now that we actually have this completed, or we've gone through how you can complete it, all right, now we can actually go back over to our command platform and actually access some of the different items, obviously like the Lead Accelerator or Sketchhouse. All right, so we're going to go in order, so let's go and start with Lead Accelerator since it's the first option on here. All right, so to access this on the left-hand side, I just click those 3 lines up here at the top left, and then I selected Lead Accelerator. All right, so go and select Lead Accelerator real quick. All right, so once we click on Lead Accelerator, then this is where you can actually start to create your different campaigns. Now, the main purpose of the Lead Accelerator is really to make your online digital marketing simpler. All right, so at the end of the day, you can obviously go over to Twitter ads, you can go to Facebook ads or Instagram ads, or you can go to Google AdWords, and you can set up these as well via those platforms. All right, this is just going to be another kind of third party to those platforms to make it a little bit easier to actually send out, basically different ads. Now, one thing to note about the Lead Accelerator on here, these are for paid ads. So if you're thinking about going on to Facebook and just posting out different items on there, all right, the main item for the Lead Accelerator on here will just be kind of, at the end of the day for those paid ads. Now, there is an option on here where you can actually post out different ads as well. So this will actually post over to your different profiles. All right, so if you're looking to utilize something like this, kind of like Hootsuite or Buffer, if you've ever utilized those before, where you can actually schedule out your post for the platforms, that's an option too. All right, so this will just help you out with your social media management and then also with those digital marketing or kind of PPC items. All right, and PPC stands for pay-per-click, where you're basically paying per each time someone clicks on your ad. All right, so they'll have PPC options on here, and then PPM, which is pay per milli, where you're basically paying for every 1,000 impressions of how many times people are seeing your ad. All right, so you'd only pay every time, 1,000 people have seen your ad. All right, so we'll have a couple different options up here for the Lead Accelerator. At the top left, we'll have the My Marketing Campaigns. This is just going to be a culmination of all of your different marketing campaigns you currently have running right now. All right, then obviously the favorite, I'm sure, of everyone's the Payment Profile, where you can actually put inside your credit card information on here in order to link everything up. All right, you can actually view any archive campaigns if you may have actually canceled any at this time. All right, or of course, you can also once again see any posts that are scheduled out. All right, or of course, you can also see any past posts. All right, so we utilize a platform called Hootsuite over here where we can see everything in one location, but that's a paid program. All right, this for you guys will actually be free for you to use. All right, and then you can even connect your profiles on here too. All right, so starting with just the marketing campaign, so we can just start with the paid options on here, starting from left to right. All right, all we have to do once we click on My Marketing Campaigns is click that Create New Campaign option at the top right up here. All right, so once we click on that Create New Campaign option, we can work on this immediately. All right, now once we do that, we're going to have 5 different options that we can actually utilize on here. All right, so in this case, the first thing we'll want to do is obviously put inside our campaign name. So let's say, for instance, you're doing this on a brand new listing. All right, so I'm going to put inside an example of 123 Main Street. All right, so that's what I'm going to label this as. So if I'm doing this for a listing, then I'll just put inside, the address on here, something that I'll know, hey, this is exactly what the campaign's about. All right, obviously you have up to 80 characters where you can customize this, so do with it whatever you please. All right, but this is just going to be something for you to see only. This won't actually display on the ad. It's just going to let you know what ads you're running under this particular campaign name. Now we will have 5 different options on here. We'll have Facebook ads, Instagram ads, which is linked up. If you notice, there wasn't an Instagram option in the back end on there for your profile, but this will be linked up via Facebook, all right, because Facebook actually owns Instagram. All right, we have Twitter ads, Google AdWords, and then Real Mailers on here too. All right, Real Mailers is actually, I believe, a print mail-out type company. All right, so I'm going to use Facebook ads on here because that's the one that I have linked up. So I'll click on that. As you can see, it's now outlined in green, so we're all good to go. All right, then we can actually specify on here what our schedule is. All right, so if I want to start this tomorrow and go through, 10 days, I can. If I want to change this out, I'm definitely more than welcome to. So if I click on the calendar option, maybe I want to start it on April 1st, and then I want to run this instead through April 10th. All right, so completely up to you guys in this case. And if you notice, whenever I actually changed that on here, so I did April 1st to April 10th, which is technically 9 days, right, then it actually changed my budget on here per day based on what I actually have for my total that I want to utilize. All right, so if I just want to go through and maybe I just want to do, something basic, I just want to do $10. Or I guess in this case, I'll do 10, and let me change this over here to be the 11th. There you go. Oh, whoops, sorry. April 11th. Perfect. All right, 10 used to be the default budget on here. It looks like 25 is now. All right, so then we can actually specify our schedule, and then we can actually add inside our budget and get an idea as what per day we'll be spending on here. Now on Facebook, I know for a fact the least amount that you can spend per day is $1, so I just want to let you guys know about that. All right, and then of course on here we can actually see what are we trying to do. Are we trying to attract listings, advertise listings, attract new talent, send out branding about our real estate business, obviously send out event awareness if you happen to do a client appreciation event or just an event in general to drive traffic, all right, or other on here. So in the beginning I said as an example, I'm going to post about my listing. So I'm going to say advertise listing on here. All right, so now that we have that completed, then we can click on configure campaign over here. The support button is unfortunately in the way of that real quick on my screen, but we can click on configure campaign to move on to that next step on here. There we go. All right, so once I click on configure campaign, now it'll take me to the back end where I can actually go through and tweak this even further. All right, so on here, I can then search for my property if I want to search for a listing on here to link it up. All right, I once again can see my schedule on here. I can also see my budget and allocation. So currently for the campaign, it's $10, and we're just doing it for Facebook. I didn't have any others selected on there. All right, so I'm not going off of, different platforms or anything. So all $10 is going to go to Facebook. All right, if I click on search listing on here, then I can actually search for the particular listing. I don't believe 123 Main Street is going to pop up or anything of that sort. Yeah, nothing. All right, so in this case, I'll leave that as is. All right, but then if I scroll down even further, then I can actually link this up with any of the Facebook pages I have connected on here. All right, so I've got a couple different ones connected on here, so I'll use this one just for the time being. All right, so I can select the page that I actually want to utilize. All right, and then on Facebook, it makes it very simple for you. All right, you can actually go through and add inside the images you want to display, your ad text, your headline, your call to action, all right, the link description on here. All right, and then we'll look at that in a second. And then, of course, the actual link to drive them over to as well. All right, so this is just kind of the basics on here to get everything up and running. All right, so if I wanted to, I could then add inside an image on here. I'd click the little plus sign. All right, and then I can add inside an image from my desktop. I can add inside an image if I've uploaded one previously from our content library. And it looks like very soon we'll be able to add inside videos from K2B Video as well. All right, the limitation on here is 3 megabytes. I just want to give you guys a heads up on that. All right, so 3 megabytes is the maximum amount that you can add inside. All right, so I don't have an image on here, ironically enough, so let me just find one real quick. Go to pexels.com. Not that this is going to go live or anything of that sort, but I'm still going to use a royalty-free one. All right, so let me get real estate. Yeah, I'll type in home. That's how I can just add inside a generic one. Perfect. You guys may have seen this before. This is actually one that's over on Market Leader, I believe. All right, so let me save that. I'll save it over to, I'll save it on to my downloads. That's fine. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to add one in real quick. Hopefully this is less than 3 megabytes. We're going to find out real quick. Is it? It is. Awesome. So I've added inside my image now. There we go. And of course, you can add inside multiple images if you want to. All All right, and then for the text on here, you'll have up to 250 characters that you can actually add inside for the text. And this is going to give you an idea over here of, hey, here's the example as to what we're actually utilizing. All right, so here's what the image is going to look like. All right, then I'm going to start with the headline because the headline is going to come up first. So I'm going to put inside just listed. I'm going to put 123 Main Street in beautiful. Can I type that? There we go. Yeah. Orlando, Florida. And I misspelled Orlando. There we go. All right, and it looks like that's a little bit too long for me, so I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to do FL just to be safe. All right, so then for our add text on here, all right, as you can see, enter text that clearly tells people about what you're promoting, enter text that clearly tells people about the CTA link. All right, so maybe I want to say, looking for your next dream home. Look no further. This spacious 3-bed. Nope, that's not how you spell spacious. Come on. 3-bed, 2-bath is now newly listed in Orlando, Florida. Come check out this amazing property today and be ready to say, I'm home. All right. Was that cheesy? Yes. Yes, that was cheesy. But I just wanted to add inside an example on here. All right, so I added something in now. Here's our text up here. All right, and then, of course, down here we've got the headline. All right, we have the CTA text where we can add inside learn more, contact us, open link. I usually go with learn more on here just so that way they can click on this and learn more about the property, obviously. All right, then we can add inside a link description on here too. All right, and in this case, say for instance, if you are utilizing, your own listing on here, you could actually go over to the MLS description that you have over on your website, and you could just copy some of that information on there too. All right, so completely up to you in this case. All right. So for the time being, I'm just going to put inside, here is the link description that will display on our ad on Facebook. There we go. All right, and then of course we can also put inside, all right, enter CTA link. All right, so in this case, I'm going to put inside the link. And if you're linking this back over to your, say our Playster website or eEdge website, your own custom website, then you can add that in immediately, all right, with the link that'll actually go back over, in this case, to the landing page of that listing. All right, so to give you a heads up, if I utilized, I'm going to use my good friend's website on here. So if I use the Playster website, for instance, and obviously I don't think there's a 123 Main Street. I don't think I've ever actually seen a 123 Main Street before. All right, but let's say this is 123 Main Street. All right, so if I click on this, then I could actually use the link up here at the top. So I'm going to copy that. I just do Control-C, or I can right-click copy. And now I've got the URL for our website where we want to direct people to. All right, so instead, maybe I'll add that in on here. All right, so now we're directing people over to it. All right, so once they click that Learn More button, it would take them over to this page. All right, and then of course we can also put inside our ad targeting on here. All right, so right now it just kind of gives us the basics where we can actually specify the age and then the location on here along with the radius as well. All right, so I said this was in Orlando, so maybe I only want to go after people that are, 30 or older. All right, and usually it'll say 65 plus. All right, there are people above 65 utilizing Facebook, I promise. All right, so in this case, then for the location on here, I might type inside Orlando, Florida. Oh, nothing's, come on. All right, let me go off a zip code then. See if that'll search for me. Still nothing. Okay. Hopefully it'll start to pop up real quick. There we go. All right, Orlando, Florida. Awesome. All right, and then I can specify the radius on here too. So outside of just Orlando, Florida, I can do a radius around the center of Orlando, all right, and base it off of, how far out I want to advertise this. All right, so if I just want to do Orlando, all right, it looks like the lowest they're allowing us on here is 10, and let's see what the highest is on here. I don't know if there actually will be a limitation on the highest, but we're going to find out. It might be 50. Yep. All right. So in most cases, you might not want too massive a radius. That's why it starts off at 20 on here. All right, but I'm going to go down to 10, so that way I can keep it very segmented. Now, there's also expert mode on here too, where you can actually go through and specify a couple other items on here. If you're going after a specific gender on there, all right, or if you want advanced targeting on here too. All right, so the cool part about advanced targeting is you can actually go off of specific demographics. All right, we can also go off of certain interest on here too. All right, so if you found out that, say for instance, this is a luxury home, you might want to go off of other luxury items as well that people are interested in. All right, or you can even go off of behaviors on here too. All right, so it's pretty cool. You can actually go through and update this even further. Now, you don't have to utilize the expert mode. That just gives you additional items that you can use, all right, but completely up to you in this case. And that's pretty much it. Now, if I just click the save and activate option on here, it's going to tell me it's messed up. I've got a couple different people on here. Let me go through. I'll use this one and see if it works on here. All right, we'll find out. I don't think you guys will have as many Facebook pages linked up on your account as we do over here, so I think you should be good to go with everything. All right, so hopefully it'll start to pull up. More than likely, you'll probably just have 1, 2, maybe 3 at the most Facebook pages linked up on your account, so it should be a little bit simpler to actually utilize. All right. Fingers crossed. All right, now if I click save and activate, perfect. All right, so your ad is set to run 10 of days. That's kind of a weird way of saying it. All right, with a cost of $10 for Facebook. All right, upon approval of this ad, your card will be charged the full amount of this ad. All right, so then we can actually add inside a new card, and it'll allow us to go through and update that immediately. All right, so in this case, I'm going to save it as a draft because I do not want to charge myself for a fake ad on here. Here we go. Perfect. All right, so as you can see, then we happen to have our name on here. We have the date this would go from. We have the channels this is actually going to go out to. We have the status of it as well. Our budget on here, how much we've actually spent. All right, and then in addition to that, all right, we also happen to have how many impressions we've received. So impressions are how many people have actually seen your ad. All right, so if one person sees it, that counts as an impression. If one person sees it twice, that still counts as 2 impressions, even though it's the same person seeing it on there. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that one. All right, and then of course you also have how many people have clicked on it, so how many people have actually clicked on your ad. All right, in addition to that, we also happen to have the cost per milli. That's what I was telling you guys about earlier. All right, the cost per 1,000 people seeing your ads, and then the cost per click on here too. All right, so basically how much each click is costing you. All right, so the cool part about Facebook is it's pretty cost effective. All right, you can usually get it for about $1 or less. I've seen it as low as about 20 cents per click. Even in some other cases, non-real estate related, I've seen it even lower than that. And the more unique your ad is, and the more kind of diversified it is and segmented, you can get it pretty low on there, to say the least. All right, so I just want to give you an idea as to how you can actually set this up and utilize this immediately. And once again, you will need to put inside your credit card information because this part on the lead accelerator is something that you would have to pay for. So I do want to make sure that is known. That is something you would have to pay for on there. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this real quick. And I'll delete the other one too. They're just archiving them real quick. All right, so once again, that's how you can set up your new campaign. All right, and pretty simple. All right, so you can actually go to Facebook ads if you want to set it up that way to have even more, in-depth information as to how you want to set it up. But K2B's done a good job of basically getting the main items that you'll need to utilize in order to make your ads effective. All right, then of course you can see your payment profile if you happen to have any cards on file. You can see your archive campaigns, which I currently have a couple on here. And then as you can see, I can actually delete them too if I want to delete them further on. All right, and then the other big one on here is we also happen to have our posting schedule. All right, so in this case, you can actually schedule out different posts that you want to post out on your Facebook or Twitter in this case. All right, and hopefully very soon there will be additional ones, like maybe over on Instagram, LinkedIn, all right, a bunch of other platforms. All right, not Google Plus though, because that is going away in case you guys didn't know. All right, so let me go and connect a couple more profiles on here. Let me connect one more real quick to see if I can add this in. Here we go. So I'm going to try and connect this so I can show you guys how to take a look at this. Here we go. Awesome. Perfect. What is my password? Hopefully that's it. We'll find out. Awesome. All right, so that is working. Now it's going to ask me for a page. Let me try that other page that we just did on here. That'll make it a little bit simpler. Connect it. Awesome. All right, so I just wanted to add something in real quick so that way I can go through and show you how to actually post out on here. Okay, so let me go back to Lead Accelerator real quick. All right, now we're under posting schedule again. All right, so now I'm linked up where I can actually start to post out on here as this Winter Garden Realtor. All right, so we can actually see what posts we currently have in the queue. We can actually view our calendar on here as well. All right, so a bunch of cool items we can take a look at. And of course, you can also connect Twitter on there too. I remember when I clicked on Connect More Profiles, that literally came from our name up here under Settings is where I connected that application. All right, but if I click on Schedule a Post on here, all right, then I can actually start to schedule out that post to share over on Facebook. All right, so in this case, I can actually schedule out whatever I want to, whether it's going to be a link, whether it's going to be an image. I can put inside there a link to the video on here too. All right, a bunch of different items. So I can say I'm posting out a link, or not a link, sorry, a post from the new K2B Command Lead Accelerator. All right, then of course I can click on this image option over here to add inside an image if I want to. So maybe I want to add back inside, and let me see if it's under my content library now. Nothing. That's okay. All right, so I can add back inside that one that I added in earlier. Here we go. All right. And then, of course, down here, consistent channel content. All right, as you can see, here's the little preview of that post, what it's going to look like on here too for us. All right, then we can actually click on the right-hand side over here to add the post to the queue, or we can even post it immediately. All right, so completely up to you on here. So if I click on the Actions option, say I want to add post to the queue. All right, so I can say, do you want to add this post to the queue? I can click on Add to Queue. All right, it'll automatically add it over for us to post out. Here we go. All right, looks like it's thinking right now. Hopefully it'll come over. I know this is still being worked on. This is something relatively new. This was actually not even here prior to Family Reunion, so this is a brand new item for you guys to utilize. All right, so fingers crossed it'll pop up on here. All right, but whenever it does, then it'll actually add it to our queue to post out over on Facebook for us. Oh, that's okay. All right, so hopefully this will start to work very, very soon so you can actually schedule this out. But I did want to show you how you can go through and start to utilize this even further. All right, so hopefully this will start to post out very, very soon for you guys. All right, and of course, once again, not only can you schedule your post on here so you can actually just schedule everything. I always tell people on like a Sunday, for instance. All right, I can just go over here and I can schedule it on Sunday for the entire week. So that way, even though I'm not actually posting stuff out, the day of, it looks like I am. Or if I'm out on vacation, or I know I'm going to be out at a convention, or I won't be on my computer all day, all right, then I can still have stuff scheduled and ready to go out. So that way I'm keeping that consistent brand on my, social media profiles. All right, so it'll help out tremendously on here. All right, but then of course you can also see your calendar, what's coming out. All right, and then of course you can always view your past post on here too. All right, so if you post anything out, as you can see, we can view by 7, 14, or 28 days. All right, roughly a month on there. All right, so this is another way where you can actually post out different items on here too. All right, so hopefully that'll start to work very, very soon for you guys. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up. That's how you can actually access the Lead Accelerator. All right, so that's kind of the Lead Accelerator and a very quick overview of all the different items you have available. All right, now outside of Lead Accelerator, you also happen to have Sketchhouse. Now, Sketchhouse is going to be a brand new design element that you guys can utilize. All right, that's very similar to like the My Marketing section. All right, if you ever utilized Canva before, MailChimp, Constant Contact, all right, any of those different kind of email platforms or creation platforms, it's going to be very similar to it. All right, so word on the street, though, is that Sketchhouse might be getting a little bit of an overhaul or a little bit of a couple changes on here. All right, so we might be seeing some differences pretty soon. All right, so what we're seeing today obviously could be completely different than what we see a week from now because they're constantly making updates on here. All right, so when we first click on Sketchhouse, though, it's going to show our sketches on here. All right, so these are any sketches that we've actually saved that we might want to utilize later on. All right, any that we've kind of copied over to our sketchbook, as they call it. All right, and then, of course, outside of that, you can also view the K2B sketches. Now, currently under the K2B sketches, there are approximately, I think it's 32. Let me double check. Yep, there are 32 different sketches that are currently available for you guys to utilize. Now, one helpful tip, just to give you a heads up, if it ever says viewing 1-12 on here, for instance, All right, if you ever see the viewing option and then it has what looks to be a hyperlink, if you click on that, it's just a link, but then you can actually change how many you're viewing on here. So even though we won't be able to view all of them, I can at least view 20 per this page. All right, so then I can actually click on any of these templates to view them even further. Now, of course, outside of just seeing these templates, you can also go through and you can add in your own. You can kind of customize your own too. All right, but in this case, let's say, for instance, I'm going to use, where's the one that I was using before that I really liked? All right, let's say we'll use the Keller Mortgage one, and I'll use it in red. All right, so if I do this Keller Mortgage option, I click on that. Here we go. All right, so as you can see, when customizing your templates, be sure to update any placeholder text, photos, links, and buttons with your own content and brand. All right, perfect. All right, so in this case, then I can actually see what this is going to look like. So currently, I'm viewing what it's going to look like on a phone or a mobile device. If I want to see what it'll look like over on a tablet, I can also see that too. All right, and then in this case, just kind of taking a look at what we're actually currently viewing on here. All right, we're going to have the option to import our own template if we want to. All right, we can download this HTML if we want to add it somewhere else. All right, or we can even send a test email on here too. Now, if you notice, some of the information on here is automatically populated with my info from that marketing profile section. So my headshot's up here, my name, my website link is on here. All right, if I scroll further down, here's my headshot again, my phone number, it has my website link. I didn't add inside a legal option or a license number, so that's not displaying. So if I do need to get rid of that so it doesn't populate with anything, I can just click on this and I can obviously delete everything from there. Oh, I clicked the back button. I did not mean to go all the way back. There we go. Let me hop back over real quick. Sorry about that. All I did was click backspace. There you go. Alright, so completely up to you guys if you do want to change any of this stuff out on here. Alright, and then on here, for instance, like the name, if we're sending out an email on here, then this will automatically pull in the name from our contacts to personalize it. Alright, kind of with that mail merge function. Alright, so it's pretty cool how you can actually set this up on here. So I just want to give you a heads up. So nothing is really set in stone. You can click on anything. There's an option where you obviously can move this. We can go through, we can duplicate it as well if we want to duplicate this box to add inside additional text, or if we want to just kind of change it out. We can always click that trash option over here too to delete that. So these are just different templates that have been created on here. Now if you want to, you're always more than welcome to go through. You can add inside an additional section, double sections, triple sections. All right, 3 out of 7ths, grid items, list items. There's even content that you can add inside over here too. All right, but before we get into all of this on here, all right, I'm actually going to click on the Copy to My Sketches option. All right, so I'm going to click on Copy to My Sketches, and I'm going to go through here, and I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to save it as, I guess I could just save it as this. I'll put test 3/8. All right, let me confirm that. All right, so now it's been saved to My Sketches. So if I actually go back here real quick, there you go. Now under My Sketches, as you can see, I can now see what I just saved on here. All right, so I'm going to reopen that. So I always suggest saving it first, just because at the end of the day, if you save everything, that's going to help out tremendously, so you know everything is good to go. All right, but on here, we can go through, we can tweak anything. All right, if I want to update some of this information on here, if I want to get rid of the name option, for instance, all right, I can click on this. All right, and maybe I just want to put inside, hello, instead of actually putting that in. And as you can see, we can bold, we can italicize, underline, add a strike through, add a hyperlink. We can personalize, which we saw on here before. So in this case, they had the name option, so that's why it had that coming up on here for the first name. All right, so maybe if I want to put inside hello and then first name on here, put a comma after that. All right, as you can see, we can personalize again on here. Plenty of different options for us. All right, so completely up to you is how you want to change this out and update it. Nothing is set in stone by any means. All right, but then of course over here, as you can see, we can actually view some of the different information on the design. So currently we're actually able to see on here kind of the different coloration that we have. We can actually view the dimensions of everything too. All right, even below we can view the typography, if I can say that properly. Sorry about that. Got something stuck in my throat over here. All right, then even the decorations on here too. All right, so if you want to completely change this around, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, you can also view the different component settings on here, whether it's the ID or the title. All right, then of course we can view how this is completely lined up on here. All right, so as we can see, we have the text box option. We have a link on here. All right, we have another link. All right, so on and so forth. And then, of course, we have our layout and content that we were looking at previously. All right, so if we want to... Geez, sorry, I'm choking over here. If we want to add inside some additional layouts, we're definitely more than welcome to, or we can even add inside some additional content. All right, so if we want to add inside a button on here that they can then click on, we're definitely more than welcome to. We can add inside a divider as well. All right, so if I want to add inside a divider on here, for instance. All right, so I'll add inside a little spatial divider for us. All right, so I'm going to get rid of that real quick. We can add inside another text box on here too if we want to. That way we can tweak this even further. All right, so completely up to you guys if you want to add that in. You can add inside a text section. You can add inside images on here, quotes, links, or even a link block. All right, so if you do want to add inside an image on here as well, or we can click on that, and then as you can see, we can drop files here to upload. All right, we can even search for it, or we can just add the image on here. All right, so if I click on that, then it's going to give me the option where I can actually add this in. So I'm going to try that image one more time. So I clicked on this, I added in the image, and now once I click on Add Image, there we go. All right, then it's adding it in for me. Now this image is massive, so I'm going to click on this real quick. It gives us the little dot or squares, as you can see, kind of around the image. So I'm going to go ahead and resize this real quick. Go ahead and move that back up here. Perfect. All right, and let me move this out so I can see it a little bit better. Awesome. All right, so we add inside the image on here, so we're able to kind of completely change this around if we want to. All right, and if you notice, as you can see, then I just duplicated it. All right, so I can click on this. Let me see if I can click the, yep, you can click on it and click the delete button, much like you can over inside Canva or over inside MailChimp, Constant Contact. Do the exact same stuff. You can drag this around as well, too. All right, if you want to add this over in a particular section, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, so completely up to you on here. All right, so you can do whatever you'd like to. All right, so I just added that in. I said I want to put it in one section on here. Now we're all good to go. All right, so a bunch of different items that you can actually go through and tweak even further. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that one. All right, so you can change anything else out that you want to. All right, you're definitely more than welcome to kind of customize this even further. All right, I'm going to delete that real quick, though. And we're going to delete that cell as well. And the table, too. Awesome. All right, so there are a bunch of different ways that you can actually customize this. So I just want to give you a heads up on that. Nothing is set in stone. Everything is customizable. Down here, all of our different links will automatically pop up based on those different URLs we have over inside our marketing section. At the bottom down here, we have our marketing center name, the office phone, address, brokerage license number. All right, so a bunch of different items we can easily just leave to populate, all right, or we can take out as well, too. Jeez, I don't know what is stuck in my throat. All right, so at the end of the day on here, I just went into full screen so I can see this even further. I just wanted to check something out. Let's go ahead and get out of full screen. All right, if you are in full screen on here, just click the escape option. That'll get you out immediately. All right, so once again, then you can even import your own template if you want to. All right, so if we click on that import option, as you can see, upload your own HTML template. Make sure your CSS is in line. All right, so if you've created another piece somewhere else, all right, maybe for instance you created a piece over in MailChimp, over in Constant Contact that you now want to utilize over here, all right, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, you can literally just come in here and drag and drop, or click on this to add inside your HTML info too. All right, so completely up to you at the end of the day if you want to just add that in instead. All right, then of course, if you do want to put this over inside a different platform, so right now there's not really a way that we can actually send this out quite yet. All right, so on here we can send a test email, but there's not an option to actually send this out. So if you do want to send out a piece that you created on here, you can actually download this HTML info. So if you are utilizing MailChimp or anything of that sort, you can just import this right away and you can send that out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click the update option on here. Perfect. All right, and everything is saved. We're good to go. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up of how you can actually go through and take a look at that. And if I click on this option and not view the components, then that'll actually take everything away so I can get an idea as to what this will actually look like. All right. Now, I do highly suggest sending out a test email. If you click on this, you can actually send out a test email on here. So it's coming from, Scott Leroy. Here's the email address it's coming from, who it's coming to, the subject on here as well. All right, so then we can actually put inside a test email on here if I want to send this out. So if you want to send it out to one person, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, then you can put inside their email on here, and then even the subject as well, just to send that test option. All right, so once again, I would highly suggest going through and creating a couple different sketches on here, just so you can start to utilize them even further. All right, more sketches will be coming out very, very soon. All right, and hopefully these sketches will also be available over inside your email campaigns. All right, once those start to launch even further on there. All right, so right now, this is the main way where you can actually create different sketches on Sketchhouse to utilize. All right, and then of course, since you can't email them out quite yet, all right, in this case, you can go through, all right, you can at least save them or export them as an HTML on here. All right, let me double check something real quick just to see. They have changed that out on here. Let's double check. All right, some other contacts on here. Here's some test contacts that I did earlier. Let me see if my name will pop up so I don't send it to someone on accident. All right, this works. Okay, cool. All right, and I don't believe there's the option on here. No, not that I'm seeing. That's okay. All right, I was hoping that maybe something had changed so I could give you guys some good news on here. Let me double check over here. No option, unfortunately, quite yet. And for the bulk option, no, just the email list. That's okay. All right. So another thing, though, for your email campaigns and for Sketchhouse on here, all right, you will need to have a MailChimp account set up. All right, so all the emails are going to be coming from MailChimp, it looks like. So if you noticed, whenever we were under our name on here, we went to Settings. Pull up. There we go. All right, there was a section on here to connect to your MailChimp account. All right, so if you notice, I'm already connected on here. All right, so if not, then it would have popped up on here, probably under Productivity, I believe, where the MailChimp option will pop up for you. All right, if you've not created a MailChimp account, it's extremely simple to make one. You can literally just go to MailChimp.com. Here we go. I believe it's /signup. If you just go to MailChimp.com, it'll take you over there too. All right, but MailChimp.com/signup. It'll literally just ask you what do you want as your email, what do you want for your username, and I'd highly suggest using the same email to make it simple. And then what do you want for your password on here too? All right, so it'll be about 8 characters or higher. All right, it does have to have a special character on here. All right, so unlike the K2B platform, which is, basically the exact same thing, lowercase, uppercase, number, 8 characters minimum, the only difference is this one will have to have a special character, like a dash, like an exclamation point, something of that sort. All right, but once you add that in, then it'll send you over an email to verify your MailChimp account. You'll be good to go. All right, you can actually link this up with Command, so once those email campaigns come out, you can start to utilize them immediately. Now, one thing to note about Sketchhouse on here too is for the landing pages. I know we're going to have another class purely on landing pages, but just a little brief overview since we're about to come to the end of the class. All right, for the landing pages on here, in order to actually create one, you will have to have those sketches in Sketchhouse first. All right, so if I click on Create Landing Pages on here, I can put inside the landing page name. So maybe I'll put inside Test Landing Page. All right, and then from my templates on here, if you notice, these are going to pull up the different templates that I have over inside Sketchhouse. All right, over inside little, like my own sketchbook that I'm utilizing. All right, so I can utilize any of the different ones I want to on here. So maybe I want to utilize the Coming Soon one I had on here. And then I can configure that immediately. All right, so now I can pull this up as a landing page option on here too. All right, so I just wanted to give you a heads up. This is how you can actually go through and tweak this even further. All right, so that's a little bit of a kind of not something we're going to go over today, obviously, but I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. All right, so for the landing pages, you will want to have your sketches inside Sketchhouse first. There we go. All right, so that is a little bit of an overview on how you can actually go through and start to utilize Sketchhouse, how you can start to utilize the lead accelerator, how you can add inside, obviously, ads you want to send out on Facebook, Google, Twitter, Instagram, even real mailers. All right, how you can create posts that you want to post out over on your social media platforms, how you can create different sketches on here too and download the HTML. All right, how you can go through and set up your MailChimp account. All right, so we covered a good amount of stuff inside this class just to help you guys get in here and start to utilize everything. So what I always have been telling everyone, right from the get-go, since K2B Command is officially live, what has it been, about 2-3 weeks now it's been officially live. All right, they are making constant changes on here. So what you're seeing today is probably going to be completely different than what you're going to be seeing, a week, 2 weeks, a month from now. And I can only imagine how far along it'll go a year from now too. All right, so in this case, come back on here, familiarize yourself with everything, start to play around with it. All right, the best way to really get into everything is just to make mistakes. All right, go inside there, play around with everything, find out what works, find out what doesn't work. All right, so that way you'll start to build up that muscle memory and it'll become second nature at the end of the day. All right, so that is your overview on Lead Accelerator and Sketchhouse for your class on March 8th. So there you go.